Richard III by William Shakespeare tells the story
of King Richard III.
Of a corrupted king, Richard
Born
III.
with a deformity.
Hi everybody, this is the part of the video where we recorded for 45 minutes without our microphone on, so that's awesome. Here is a cute little montage of us, discussing themes, choosing our theme of dreams, discussing the dreams, choosing some passages, deciding what parts to cut out, what parts to keep in, sharing some laughs, having some fun, being friendly with the neighbors who walked by in the bathroom. Look how much fun we're having. Appreciating the work of William Shakespeare.
So the first scene that we chose is Act 1, Scene 4, which is Clarence's dream. And Clarence is recounting his dream to a keeper in a room in the Tower of London.
And his dream, he talks about being on a boat and he gets struck overboard by Richard and starts to drown.
So this scene really foreshadows what is going to come later to Clarence. He's going to be drowned in wine. Okay, so this scene foreshadows how Clarence describes, so in this dream how Clarence drowns will be kind of like a motif that will reappear later when Richard orders him to be drowned in wine. So it kind of just shows the foreshadowing of his dream in that situation.
Methought that I had broken from the tower, and was embarked across to Burgundy, and in my company my brother Gloucester, who from my cabin tempted me to walk upon the hatches. Thence we looked toward England, and sighted up 1,000 fearful times, during the wars of York and Lancaster that had befallen us. As we paced along upon the giddy footing of the hatches, methought that Gloucester stumbled, and in falling struck me, that thought to stay him overboard into the tumbling billows of the main. Lord, Lord! Methought what pain it was to drown, what dreadful noise of waters in mine ears, what ugly sights of death within mine eyes. Methought I saw 1,000 fearful wrecks, 10,000 men that fishers gnawed upon, wedges of gold, great anchors, heaps of pearl, inestimable stones, unvalued jewels, all scattered in the bottom of the sea. Some lay in dead men's skulls, and in those holes where eyes did once inhabit, there were crept, as 'twere in scorn of eyes, reflecting gems, which woo the slimy bottom of the deep, and mark the dead bones that lay scattered by.
Act 3, Scene 2, Take 1. In this scene, Hastings is talking to a messenger who is summarizing a dream that Stanley had, and
the messenger basically says that Lord Stanley had a dream that Richard would reveal his true cruel nature, and he asks if Hastings will join him, Lord Stanley, and get away from Richard. This foreshadows the actual reveal of Richard's cruel nature, and it's ironic that Hastings doesn't really believe that Richard will be cruel when Richard's the one who turns out to betray Hastings later on.
Cannot my Lord Stanley sleep these tedious nights?
So it appears by that I have to say. First, he commends him to your noble self.
What then?
Then certifies your lordship that this night he dreamt the ball had razed off his helm. Besides, he says there are 2 councils kept, and that may be determined at the one, which may make you and him to rue at the other. Therefore he sends to know your lordship's pleasure, if you will presently take horse with him, and with all speed post with him toward the north, to shun the danger that his soul divines.
Is this camera going to stay up? Yes, it is! Life is amazing.
Everything is awesome.
Last year, on the day after my birthday, I skipped school, and my mom and I went to go see the Lego movie. I hope this is for the Lego movie.
We'll be in our English project. Por favor.
We need a
You have one line.
You have one line. We just need to record you lying on the ground and saying that line.
But should we be around him when we say our lines?
Can we get like our feet in the picture? Like our feet around him.
I feel like we should be surrounding him.
What sort of project is this?
King Richard III? What do you think? We need to make a creative decision.
Well, he's a busy monsieur, so we probably does not have all day.
It's true. We should just.
I think we should just record his line. And what we could do is have his line, and then have like another person play Richard when we're doing the ghost scene.
Okay.
So it looks like him, like have him like lying like on his belly, and then flips over, and so any other person can play Richard lying on their belly. And it's like, wow, guest appearance.
True. Okay, that's good. Do you want to know what your
Except they
line?
know if I will. That won't work. Because they'll
They
know if
might
I
know.
were lying on my belly, my butt would be hitting the ceiling.
Wake up from your dream where the ghosts of all your victims who you killed have just come back to you to wish you
Basically
bad
to
luck
haunt
on your battle the next day.
They basically
That's
curse
freaky.
you.
I just had that dream. I've just gotten that from a horrifying dream.
Yes.
So I should be horrified.
And the next
But
scene
you're
which
trying
you're
to
not
play it
doing,
off.
right? The next scene which you're not doing, you like struggle with all these moral dilemmas because you're a horrible person, and you kind of are starting to realize it, but then you're like, nah, I'm not.
So,
In this particular scene, Act 5, Scene 3, ghosts of Richard III's, all of his victims come back to haunt him, basically, and kind of predict what will happen on the battlefield the next day, and they all wish him death and destruction for his terrible actions.
And when we act out this scene in the video, we chose to, instead of doing the whole scene, we just cut out parts that we thought were particularly important. So at the beginning, the let me sit heavy on thy soul tomorrow, because so many different characters, ghosts of characters said it, we felt it was very important to the meaning of their wishes for Richard. And then we chose to mainly say one line, what Richard did to his victim, and then same thing with the let me sit heavy on my soul tomorrow, despair and die, which all of the characters say in some variation in their speech to Richard. So we decided to say that one.
Yeah, this dream really affects Richard, as you see in his monologue after the scene when he wakes up from the dream. And, you know, all of the, like we said, all of the victims say despair, therefore, and die, and they wish him bad luck in his battle, which he ends up losing the battle and dying and despairing in his monologue. So it foreshadows both his monologue and his ultimate demise.
Let me sit heavy on thy soul tomorrow.
Stabbest me in my prime of youth.
Punted full of holes.
Washed the earth with fulsome wine.
Rivers that died at Pomfret.
Think upon grey.
Think
upon Vaughn.
bloody and guiltily awake.
Like cousins smothered in the tower.
Never slept a quiet hour with thee. Now fills thy sleep with perturbation.
The first was I that helped thee to the crown. Dream on, of bloody deeds and death. Despair and die.
have mercy, Jesus. But soft. I did but dream.
Yes, we're going to be discussing our the theme in Richard III that we chose to dig a little deeper into, and
Dreams.
which is dreams that multiple characters have, which foreshadow their imminent death
Or death. You're right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Once you think
Everyone dies.
death.
It's true. It
Okay.
is true.
Let's see. Should we start with the first scene, maybe? Or actually,
Well, we
just
talked about it,
all.
yeah.
So, basically, the dreams of Clarence, what was the second one? Hastings. Well, Stanley's dream, but it affected Hastings also. And the ghost scenes, they all predict the death of their victims that are usually too naive to see it coming.
I think the reason that's so ironic is that really all these people have sort of underestimated the power of their dreams. They'll dream something and then think, it's only a dream. Like Clarence like probably wasn't expecting to be drowned.
In wine.
Yeah.
Hastings did not see that.
Didn't really see anything important about Lord Stanley's dream, and he didn't agree to join Lord Stanley because of the dream.
It's interesting because the only one who seemed really moved by their dream was Richard, who previously in the play has been the only one to show not being able to be moved by things that usually move normal humans but don't kill everyone.
And maybe that just shows how everyone in the play is controlled by different things, and Richard's the only one who has the power to kind of see what's really there, and he's the only one who can actually manipulate them. So maybe it goes back to kind of being blind, and all of the victims are blind to Richard, and they're blind to their dreams, but Richard is not blind, he can see.
But even Richard in the end, even though he seemed to be affected by it,
He brushed it off.
Right,
Yeah.
he brushed it off. He kind of discredited his worries because it was just a dream.
What I think it kind of correlates between is the dreams are really very, what's the word, they're very abstract and hard to grasp, and you don't usually base a lot of arguments upon dreams. And I feel like throughout the play, power, even though Richard tried so hard to gain it, it was always maybe out of his grasp, where he had to kill another person for it, and once he finally gained it, he almost immediately lost it to Richmond. So I feel like dreams playing significance in the play, and their abstract nature, and how hard it is to grasp the meaning of dreams, maybe correlates to how hard it was for Richard to grasp the power. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. And also I think just kind of human nature, kind of, maybe that was the reason why Richard ultimately fell back into it's just a dream. Maybe it's just kind of, as humans, you want to think that certain things aren't true, and you want to act like you don't see them, like ignorance is bliss, but really, it's hard to avoid it.
Ignorance is bliss was a whole theme in this, because people just tried to ignore what they knew was true about Richard. I feel like throughout the play, a lot of characters would start getting this inkling of bad feeling about Richard, and they're like, but he's my third cousin, or he's our king. No, he'd never do that, but they knew it, and they just tried to ignore it.
Convince themselves that they were wrong.
It's doubting your instinct leads to your downfall. You should go with your gut. Unless it's that factor. True.
So, should we just look at the
Yeah. So this project was really fun. I liked it.
Yes, I also enjoyed it very much.
I found it enjoyable.
Okay, Georgia.
See?
Bloopers.
I don't see myself.
It's okay.
In the other camera.
The arm is connected to the shell.
The shell is connected to the
Tail. That's the only one we all said the same thing.
And I say different things.
Grandma, oh my god!
Him to your noble self.
Well,
Okay. Your lordship. But this night, he dreamt a ball had raised from his helm. I mess up.
This is a young Julia, hard at work, working on a very serious film about a very serious topic.
Which make you and him to rue at the other. Therefore, he sends to know your lordship's pleasure. If you will presently take horse.
The third is a play about power and
Woodmen toward the north.
Oh, to gallop down the stairs.